Hey there, friends. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Coming to you all today with a May wrap up. How's everyone's reading journeys going so far? All right, so like I said, I have a May wrap up for you guys, and I have my notes here because mom brain, sometimes we need a little refresher. So before we get into things, you guys, if you enjoy bookish content, book hauls, book reviews, yada yada yada, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so the first book for May, I have The Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. And I told myself I was gonna pull the books off the shelf. So the first book for May, I read Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. And oddly enough, I actually started this book in March, and it took me all the way to May to finish it. So I guess I just kept getting distracted by this book by no means is a bad book. Don't please don't judge me by how long it took me to read it. There were just, I guess, a lot of different books in that time period. There were a lot of different things going on, so I just it took me a while to finish it. But this is the second book in the duology by Sue Lynn Tan. The first book is Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and I rated that one 5 stars. This one I rated 4 stars, and I don't know if it was just that because I had such a hard time getting through it and was distracted. Maybe it would have been a 5-star read, but I rated this one 4 stars. I just felt like it was good, but it wasn't as good as book 1. So this one kind of picks up where book 1 left off. I can't give you guys a lot of, I can't give you full on details, but our main character is Jing Yin. And this kind of continues her journey. In book 1, she had to flee her home for her mom's safety, and went on this whole journey, quest, whatnot, and joined the army, trying to win redemption for her mom. So in book 2, we kind of see where book 1 left off, and we have a pretty big shocking surprise in the beginning of the book that will kind of just blow you away. If you read book 1, it will blow you away. Villains continue to be assholes. The Empress and the Emperor continue to be total assholes. There are deaths. I mean, this is a duology, so this is the final installment, so of course there are going to be some important deaths. And Sue Lynn Tan, Ms. Tan, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but one of those deaths really rocked me. Y'all, I was down bad for a couple hours. I just couldn't. You literally didn't see it coming. It was. I was. Boo-hooing. It was ugly. It was ugly. The next book that I read was The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is the second book in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. I really love this book. I'm torn between book 1 and book 2. Both were so good, but I think I really liked book 2. And I just think I liked it so much more because we have our main character. We have, Anthony Bridgerton. So this kind of follows him and his, quest for love or not really love. So Anthony he's the Viscount. His dad's dead, so he's the Viscount. He's the head of the household, and he's very. I don't want to say he's afraid of love, but he doesn't want to fall in love. He wants a practical marriage. So his goal is, he's like, hey, it's time for me to settle down. I'm gonna get married I'm not looking for love, because he's afraid of like losing somebody. You know, the way that his mom and his dad, they had this wonderful marriage, this built on love. Like they were matched. It was a love match. And his dad died at a young age from a bee sting. You know, he went into anaphylactic shock. And, you know, this is back in ye old England days. So they didn't know or, know about, bee allergens and things like that. You know, he just saw how his dad's death wrecked his mom. And he was afraid of, I guess, putting someone else through that, or, or risking that himself, losing someone that he loved that much. So he just wanted a practical marriage. He meets Mary, and Mary is just a pain in the ass. He meets his match in Mary, and their banter between each other is just so good. They're so competitive. He's competitive, she's competitive, and they just butt heads so much. But it's, he meets his match in her. So all the Bridgerton kids, all the Bridgerton siblings, their relationship, you get to see their wit and their banter between each other, which is just so good. And I listened to it on audio, so it makes it even, it just made it even more hilarious. But Colin's kind of I guess like the sneaky one, or they're all silly, but he really has like that boyish charm, that, I don't know, that sarcasm, that humor. So anyway, so there's like a ball, and he strikes up a conversation with Mary, and he gathers from the conversation with Mary that, that she has like a negative view of Anthony. Like she's heard that he's a rake, and, she doesn't want that for her sister, right? Because, Mary's whole objective is, find a good match for my sister. She's not interested in finding a match for herself. She feels like, even though she's, what do they call it? What do they call it in the book? Even though she's, I guess, in the season or whatever, she feels like, hey, she's going to be a spinster. There's no hope for her, but there's hope for her sister. So, anyway, so she's having this conversation with Colin, and, Colin starts scheming, so he finds Anthony, and is like, oh yeah, this girl over here, she's been talking about you, yada, yada, yada. And so, when they finally like meet, it's just comedy. Basically, he sets Anthony up to get destroyed. But, whatever. They end up falling in love, yada, yada, yada. Good book. Excellent book. I rated it 5 stars. I mean, the banter alone was top tier. The next book that I read in May was Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. So this one is a reread for me. Book 3 in the series is coming out June 25th. So I was like, hey, I need to, it's been a couple years since I read book 1 and book 2. Let me refresh myself. So I listened to it on Audible. And it is still a 5-star for me. Still a 5-star. The narrator, the whole story, everything just reeled me back in. It felt like I was reading it for the first time. The intensity, the anxiousness just pulled me back in. So this is a young adult fantasy. And it's pretty much at the root of it, it's like a story about oppression. You have the monarchy, who, rule the country, whatever. And then you have diviners, which are like baby magi. And magi are a group of people who have these divine abilities. They're able to, they have like magic abilities. But the monarchy, basically snuffed out the magi. years prior to the beginning of the book. So at this point, all that's left are the diviners. So these are the children of the Magi. So they still have the distinction. They have the gray hair. So Magi and diviners have gray hair. That's how you can tell them apart from Khoisidon. Khoisidon? Am I saying that right? So Khoisidon are, I guess normal people, normies, people with no powers. So the monarchy destroyed magic when they basically slaughtered all the adult Magi. Like, I think it says like 10 to 12 years prior to the start of this book. So the book follows Zélie. She's our main character. She is a diviner, and through circumstances and fate, Zélie is set out on this quest to bring magic back. This is such a good book. It made me cry all over again. It's like as if I was reading it for the first time. Just very good book. Great action. And the narrator. If I didn't say it already, I think I did. The narrator did a phenomenal job. So the next book that I read was book 2 in the series. So The Children of Anguish and Anarchy. So this is, like I said, another reread. This one was another 5-star. Reading it again, 5 stars once again. So Children of Anguish and Anarchy kind of picks up where book 1 left off. We continue to follow Zélie on her journey. Zélie, her brother, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her brother's name right now, but follow Zélie and her whole crew. We get some new faces. The monarchy continues to oppress folks. We have a big battle at the end of this, and it kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. So book 3, y'all, I'm not prepared for it. Like, I am not prepared for it. Like, do you ever get that feeling when you're reading a book series and you know that you're getting ready to like read the last installment, the last book of it? Do you ever like feel like this sense of heartbreak, like you're leaving family or losing something important? I don't know. I might be a weirdo there, but just thinking about this final book, I'm like, this is it. This is gonna be the end of the journey. This is gonna be the end of Zélie and Enon. That's the prince. It's gonna be the end of Zélie and Enon and Amari, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her brother's name right now. But oh man, I don't know. I just feel like this hole already starting. Like, this is gonna be the end, and I'm not gonna get to follow their journey anymore. So, weirdo stuff, right? The next book I read in May was How to Fail at Flirting. And I don't know if what did I rate this one? Oh, I did. I rated this one 5 stars. Man, May was the month for 5-star reads, I guess, because I rated this one 5 stars. So How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams. Oh, I have it right here. Yes. This is a library copy. I probably need to get to returning this. But I fully intend on buying a copy of this because I want it for my shelf. This is a romance, and it is so good. It's an interracial romance, and written by a Black author. And our main female character is Naya. She is a professor at a university. And then we have our main male character, Jake, who I don't exactly know what to call his title, but we'll get to what he does. You guys, if you hear my stomach growl, I am so sorry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I'm a little late on things. So, un momento, por favor. I need a sip of this. This is lukewarm. And if you're a mom, if you're a parent, you understand that this is lukewarm, and I'm still gonna drink it because that's our life, right? That's the life of a parent. Lukewarm coffee a lot of times. Okay. I need a little table right here for when I'm filming so I can just, you know. All right, back on track. Y'all, I'm sorry if I'm playing with my hair too much. I got my hair done over the weekend and I don't know. I guess I'm feeling kind of cute. So anyway, okay. So back to the book. I love this book. Like, in the midst of reading it, I was like, I don't want this book to end. This is so good. Like, I'm laughing out loud. I'm giggling. I'm grinning like a daggone schoolgirl. You know, like, it was so good. So Naya is a college professor, and she had a really, she was, okay, check the trigger warnings on this one. So there are mentionings of, you know, domestic violence. Naya was in a relationship, in a DV relationship, and I think it's been 2 years since that relationship, but, you know, she still kind of grapples with it. So she hasn't dated. She's been off the dating scene, has not dated since that relationship. So her best friends, they are so cute. Her best friends, you know, are this married couple that she's known since college or whatever. But they make her this list. They're like, hey, you know, we're gonna make you this list. You know, these are things you need to get out there. You need to put yourself out there. You need to, you know, go wild, let your hair down. You know, we miss that side of you. You need to find that side of yourself again. So they make this list for her of things to do. You know, like going out. I don't know. They say something about kissing, or they just make her kind of, you know, like random stuff. You know, random things that she needs to do to let her hair down. So they plan to meet up. You know, the three of them. Like, hey, let's go to a bar. We're gonna help you kind of get out there. Well, she gets to the bar. She's waiting for them. There's like, you know, some young, rowdy, you know, bachelorettes there or whatever. You know, bridesmaids and stuff. So, you know, the couple ends up flaking on her, you know, one's sick or the kids are sick, so they can't make it. So here she is all alone sitting at this bar. And our main male character, Jake, overhears a conversation, and he's kind of like intrigued, like, hey, you know, like, anyway, so they kind of strike up a little conversation, and they decide, hey, okay, well, let's hit the road, let's go, you know, let's hang out, let's go do something else or whatever. And the sparks just kind of fly from there. And oh my gosh, like, I'm not trying to like give anything away, but I have to give this one scene away. So Naya, you know, she's been drinking, he been drinking, so, you know, she's kind of feeling a little brave, like, hey, you know, let me add a one night stand to my list. So they go back to his hotel. They're making out. It's getting hot. It's getting heavy. And then she throws up on him. I think on his shoes or whatever, but still, she throws up on him. So, did she throw up on him or did she throw up in the toilet? I don't know, whatever. She got sick. She's planning a one night stand and she threw up. So, mortified. Clearly she was mortified, but he was still intrigued after that. Like, so, you know, he still like texted her after that, and just so cute. And they're both kind of like nerdy, so they're perfect for each other. Like, they make like corny jokes, and a lot of the book is like their texts between each other. It's like a long distance relationship, and for me, I haven't read a romance that's kind of, here she goes getting tongue tied. It was unique to me because I haven't read a romance book with a, you know, long distance relationship in it. So I enjoyed that. But yeah, so like I said, Naya's a college professor. Her department is actually, you know, on the brink of possibly getting like shut down, and so she's like worried about her job security, relationships, yada yada yada. And Jake kind of gets tangled up in that somehow. So, good book. If you are looking for a romance with, you know, a lot of wit and humor, this one's for you. They are so stinking cute. Like, Denise, like, really, this is so good. This is so good. Yeah. So the last book I read was The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. And you guys, this book was so good. 5-star read. 5-star read. So this is a romance, and it's one of those, I love romance novels that aren't just about the relationship. You get so much what I want to say, so much backstory, you get so much context, you get so much, I feel like, meat, you know, like, you get so much storyline. There's so much beyond just the love and the sex, you know. You get, I don't know, content, for lack of a better word. But this story, this book, this follows our main female character is Emery. She is a single mom who is basically struggling to make ends meet. And, you know, and then we have Oliver, our main male character, who is he's an R&B singer, rock star, you know, in a very successful band with his twin brother. And we learned this on the back of the book, so no spoilers here. Oliver's brother dies unexpectedly, and it just it crushes him. Of course, you know, it's his brother, it's his twin brother at that. And I thought what was so unique about this, and what really made my heart hurt for Oliver, is that, you know, he's a celebrity, and he can't even grieve. He can't even grieve in peace because social media, the media, is just out there, you know, posting stuff, publishing stuff, and, you know, criticizing him, criticizing his brother. And I just can't imagine how it would feel to have my grief on display for the world like that, to have it exploited like that. It really hurt my heart for him, because you know, like the author, even the way she like formatted the pages, it looked like social media posts. And so I thought that was really neat. I thought that was really clever. But yeah, just my heart just hurt for him. Like dang, you know, this guy can't even grieve in peace without the social media and the media like slamming him. Emery's actually a fan of Oliver's group, his band, and they have this chance encounter, and she basically kind of saves him from himself and from the media, and their bond kind of goes from there. So it's just a really good story. Like I said, you're seeing, so we have Oliver and his trauma, you know, his grief, and it talks a lot about anxiety. Oliver struggles with anxiety and you know, clearly depression, you know, because of his brother. And then we have Emery, who is, like I said, she's a single mom. She is pretty much isolated from her family, and for good reason. Her parents are total trash. They are these basically religious fundamentalists. Like, they have emotionally and mentally abused her and her sister like their entire lives. And her sister was pretty much her only constant growing up. And then something happens, and then they kind of drift apart. And anytime Emery tries to reach out and like, hey, you know, I want to see you, I need to see you, I need you, like I'm struggling here, you know, like my, you know, mentally, emotionally, I need to see you, her sister kind of makes some kind of excuse. There's a pretty big freaking bombshell dropped in here, and you know me, lips are sealed. But this is such a good book if you want to read a book about, you know, grief and healing. Just so good. But man, the parents, those parents. I'm just knuck if you buck. Like, you can have your beliefs, but they should not be at the expense of your children's well-being. You know, who child? Hating them. So that is it. That's all the books that I read in May. Have you read any of these? Have I made you curious? Are you interested to read any of these? So, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Once again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, bye.